What is the difference between a fill and a rebalance? If you're in the salon, you've got to know. Tracey's gonna take you through it right now.
Today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite subjects, which is fills and rebalancing, or infill and backfill, or whatever you call it. This is actually my favorite thing to talk about at the OWC because this is our maintenance. This is what we do all the time. Once we build a full clientele, we're not doing full sets, we're doing maintenance, fills and rebalances. But we got to know the difference between the two and how long to book for them. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. So y'all are not going to judge Stephanie's fingers today. It is really hard to make a nail look grown out as a smile line. So no judging. We're going to get through this. It'll look better in the end. But what we have here is two different styles. We have something where our client has been 2 weeks and they're coming back and we just need to do a fill. Then on the other hand, we have a client that's coming in 2 to 3 weeks after this one, and everything needs to be restructured and put back in place. Let me explain. If you look back here, she needs a small amount of product. It's probably been about 2-3 weeks since she's done her nails. And here, structurally though, everything is pretty much in place. We have it thicker where we want it in that stress area. We have it thinner towards the tip where we need it so it doesn't look like a big thick nail. And we just have a little bit back here where we need to put some product. Now what's the difference between this and this one? This one, everything is off balance. And what I mean by that is this thinner part has now started to grow out into that stress area where we need it a little thicker so they don't break their nails. And then the thicker part is starting to grow out to here where we want it thinner. So everything has to be restructured. We need to place the thickness back further. We have to thin the front out. We need to shorten it if she wants it shortened. So we're gonna go over both. I'm gonna show you how to fill both so you can see how much product to use no matter what you're doing. So let's start with this one. No matter what we're doing, guys, we wanna start by pushing back the cuticles. It's an important step that some people skip. But if you don't, you won't be able to expose anything that needs to be prepped. And also, your client more than likely will eventually start pushing it back with their own nail, and it's gonna look like they need a fill right after they already had a fill. Okay, so we push back, and it's quick. Like you saw that. It's like push, push, push. Doesn't need to take forever. Done. Now we're gonna grab that zebra arbor band, that 150 arbor band, a medium grit arbor band, whatever you're using. Let's turn it down. We don't need it that high, so about 4,000 RPMs. And I'm just gonna take her nail. So we pull that skin back, gonna tuck right into that corner, make sure we get it nice and clean. Now, if she had really dry cuticles or excessive cuticles, I might grab one of our new bits, our cuticle bits, but Steph gets her nails done on a pretty regular basis, so I'm not really worried about it. Follow through. I don't even have to take the shine off the top. We're working over acrylic. Acrylic sticks to shine. Doesn't really matter. As long as this back area is prepped, we're good to go. How about this one? How are we going to prep this one to get it ready for cutting in a smile line? Exact same thing. We're gonna do our prep work here first. So we're gonna pull that back just like we did the other one. I'm gonna come in here, clean up, follow through all the way around the edges, and make sure there's no ledge or anything. A little bit of lifting right there, easy to take care of. Follow through, remove the shine if you want. If you don't do it. You don't need to. Okay? Make sure we have just a little crusty right there. Just take care of it. Okay, we're good to go. So the prep work, the prep part is exactly the same whether we're doing a fill or a rebalance. Let's grab our swipe, cleanse that nail just like we would normally. Dust down. Okay, so we prepped, we cleansed, grab our protein bond. First nail, just the regular fill. Just gonna hit that exposed natural nail. Same thing here. exposed natural nail. If you get it up on the rest, it really is not a big deal. It's not going to yellow the product or anything. It's a waste of product. I don't like to waste product. Okay, so we're just hitting that again. Make sure we have all that natural nail, and we are good to go. Next, let's talk about how much product to use. Here's the number one mistake that people make when they're just doing a fill. Actually, I'm just throwing you all under the bus with me. This is the mistake I made, is I would remove all this product. Well, I do know why. The reason I used to do that is I would take all this down and then rebuild it up is because I worked with a product that peached out. So after about 3-4 months, it would look, I call it dead nail color. So to pinken it back up, I would remove a lot of product. So I had that habit of doing that. And then I went and switched to young nails. And I realized quickly there was no need to do that because the color stays the same. So again, don't need to take a bunch of product down. We're gonna grab our acrylic. We're gonna show you, just pick up a little bit of product, nice and wet. Gonna place it back there. We're gonna let the shakes from the coffee work for me. We're gonna call it blending. Anybody ever comments on my shakes, I say, oh, I'm just blending the nail. It's good. And make sure I'm trying to see this side without getting my head in the way, people. But I think we're good. Very, very little product. Now, what's the difference when we go to this one? We're going to pick up more product because again, we have to fill this in. We need to restructure everything. So if I went in with just a little pearl like that, it's not gonna cut it. Now, what I don't wanna do is I'm not gonna grab a pearl big enough for a full set. That's too much. I wanna go somewhere in the middle. So we're gonna grab a good sized pearl, but again, not as big as a full set. I'm gonna put it down. It's not as wet as that fill pearl. I'm gonna hold that finger down. I'm working it to the back. I'm letting it kind of flow to the front area where I want the thickness. I'm not gonna worry about this. I'll kind of pull it forward. Doesn't matter that it looks all kind of funky because we are gonna cut in a smile. I don't care if we leave a big glob right here. Doesn't matter. We're gonna be cutting in the smile line. So don't sit here. There's two things that we tend to do. We sit here and we start trying to clean it up and make a smile line. There's no need for that. Or we try to thin it out too much. We want it kind of meaty. Is that a word? We're using that. We want it meaty in the center because we want something that we can cut in our smile line. Okay. I wanted to explain one thing. So if you're looking at my meaty nail, y'all probably judge me on all my words that I come up with, but the reason I do it this way, so we would actually do this to all 10 nails before we come back and cut the smile line. Why? Because if we do it on a nail like it was before, where it was thin through here, we're literally sitting here trying to go carefully, cutting in that smile line, cutting it in. Then we're trying to lightly put in the white just to hit that shallow smile line, and then we're trying to lightly put the pink in so we don't cover the white. Whereas if you do the reverse technique, I promise, guys, I promise that it goes faster. I'm a little rusty right now, but back in the day, I would do this in 30 minutes. So a rebalance, or we called it backfills back then, would take me about 30 minutes to do because it truly is faster. So why did we build this all up? Now I can cut in and not have to be careful. I've put all the strength where I need it again. Now we can go in with our X cut. Turn our E-file up, I usually about 15,000 RPMs. Take our finger and turn it sideways. And we're just gonna cut in our smile. And there we have the bulk of it down. Go back and forth in here to thin it out. She's longer, so I'll take my file kind of sideways. I'm gonna make sure I got my smile. I probably should never have caffeine prior to doing a backfill or a rebalance. Actually, in salon, I refuse to drink coffee because of this. But we're good. See how much faster that is? Like, so fast to just cut it in. Go to the next, go to the next. Then we're gonna slap in our white, nicely, slap it in the white, and then we can file. Okay, quick tip time, by the way. If you feel like, I wanna refine it a little bit more, you can always take a brand new file. Not a file that's been seasoned, a brand new file, just like we do with our full sets. Come in and refine that smile. There's days that I do this on 1 or 2 nails. There's days that I do it on every single nail. Doesn't matter. If you need it, grab it, refine it. And one more thing all over the map today that I want to show you guys, the side profile of why we build that thickness up. Can you see the cliff? I call it a cliff, right? We want to go all the way down through that pink so we don't get a shadow. That's why we build it up thicker. If I don't bring the pink up thick enough, when I file, I put in the white and I file, sometimes you'll see a shadow. Have you guys ever seen it? It's like it looks like a gray tone or a shadow in the nail. It's usually because either 1, you're working with your white really, really wet, or 2, you didn't take enough pink down. Okay, let's grab our white. I don't like to work with my white too wet because I do tend to get that marbled shadow look. So I'm going to take my white, put it on my brush, I'm gonna drain it out on the table, and then put it in. And now I'm working with it like a clay consistency, which is what I prefer to work with. Tap it up in there, grab it in there, use that body of our brush to force it where we want it. Come on out. Wiping my brush off. If you ever have issues with your product sticking to your brush after you've put it down, I was taught that that meant that you needed more liquid, And actually, if you notice, I wipe my brush off. It's the opposite truth. It's because you have too much liquid in your brush and the product's trying to re-stick to it. Okay, let's make sure we get enough in that corner. Just real quick, throw it up in there since I can't see it too well. Gonna make sure. And you guys, this is what I love about the reverse technique and scares the crap out of clients. I don't care if you get the white all the way up there. It does not matter. We're gonna file it. So play with your clients. Tell them, it's good enough. Okay, so we're done. I'm gonna go ahead and file and finish these so you guys can see the end result.